I was a drinker. I'm like one of those aging, dying breeds of, I didn't like drugs. Marijuana made me paranoid, and it gave me the munchies, and I had food issues. So I really wasn't into marijuana, and I drank. And so I was an alcoholic. But is there a difference? Because we always hear people say, I'm a drug addict. No, I'm an alcoholic. Is there a difference, or are they the same?
There's clearly a difference. I mean, there's a difference in that alcohol affects you differently than, say, cocaine, and cocaine affects you differently than alcohol, and heroin, and heroin affects you differently than, Ritalin, and Ritalin affects you differently than opiate pain pills like oxycodone. So then also how you use the drug makes a difference. The underlying similarity is the progression of addiction. And then the dependence on that substance just to feel normal, especially when the drug stops working in a positive way that was euphoric or was the draw that brought the person to use that drug in the first place. We hear a lot from alcoholics that at some point alcohol stops working. They just can't really get drunk. They don't get that
Yes, that was
feeling.
me. There was absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I drank and I had no...
It didn't make a difference.
Other than anger that I wasn't getting drunk.
Right.
It was...
Yeah, and that's, what happens. And so, but then you're still sort of stuck having to drink.
Right.
But you don't have any positive benefit at all. Everything becomes negative. And that's sort of when most people reach out for help. And so,
because you hear this a lot where people say a drug is a drug is a drug is a drug. Right, and I heard somebody say something really funny. Sometimes somebody said, "Well, the next time you go to a dinner party, and everybody's drinking wine, pull out crack." And when they go to you, what are you doing? You say, "Well, drug is a drug is a drug is a drug." And I think is it because it was so much easier in the 12-step world just to lump everything together in a sense, so everybody would come under the same treatment. Well,
they really haven't been lumped together. I mean, NA is separate, and NA didn't come along for a while.
Right.
So, alcoholism, though, has been so prevalent for so long. So, Narcotics Anonymous didn't come around until, I don't know the exact date.
Neither do I.
I think it's the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So...
we should know that, though.
I think it's 64, but I'm not positive. Anyway, and somebody should call me and correct me probably. Yeah. But, so alcohol's been around and accessible basically to everyone almost throughout, if not throughout, all of history. I don't think there's a culture in the world that didn't have some sort of alcohol. And, one of the interesting things about Britain was that, porridge used to be the main food substance, and it contained 2% alcohol. One of the reasons for that is it killed bad bacteria. So,
that's what I used to tell people why I drank.
Yeah, right.
Just to kill the bad bacteria.
Keep your gut clean.
Yeah.